Yo, what's up, ninjas? Name of the game today, vocals, my dudes. All right, a lot of you guys have been asking, and I am no vocal expert, but I'll put the social proof out there. I have made vocals that have been used by producers like Matroda, James Hype, JWorra, Biscits, CamelPhat. The beginning of the video, I will explain how normally most people go about in vocals because I've watched every YouTube tutorial out there on this, and I think it's fair knowledge to have because at the end of the day, if you sound like shit or if you go, put your hands up, you're not going to be able to turn that into put your fucking hands up. First thing is finding a way to record yourself. Gladly, I have this 8-inch mic Steve here, which is always ready to rock, always ready to please in any way. And today it's recording my vocals for a tutorial. You guys can choose to use your iPhone. Look at the baby. The next thing is to come up with what you want to say or the lyrical substance. Now, if you're not inspired, do not fret. I've read books called The Creative Act and Feel Like an Artist, so you know I'm a songwriting expert now. But all I got from those books literally was, one, don't overthink it. Two, if you don't have anything coming into that little peanut brain of ours, then you gotta find inspiration because everything out there is inspired by something before it. So if I'm trying to figure out something, right, I'm gonna be looking through music like Flex, Tiptoe, Snow Go, In the Park. So these might generate ideas. Now, I only have Marcus Strauss here because I remade one of his effects presets and shit. And hey, bro, what's up, dog? But anyways, I'll give you guys an example here. I could go into like tech house operator or techno music. In fact, hip hop music, Latin music, swag, in the after party, carry out, etc. Right? There's all these like words that we can see as information source to feed our brain that might lead to different ideas. At the disco, come with me to the fucking after party. At the after party, so we combine after party and disco. At the after party, so there you go. You have a new concept out of like other people's music. Okay, so you have your beat. Now you have to write over it. So the first thing we're going to do is create a channel. I did Command T. From there, Command comma will give me access to the input here. I'm going to switch that to whatever mic input I'm going to have, or you're going to use your phone to record yourself. So I'm just going to go with this hard. I'm going to use the idea of tell us, and I'm going to do a couple of takes. So you'll see how I usually go about this if you're going to do this here. And I apologize if my audio right now sounds like shit. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Because God knows I don't know. Cocaine. Tell me what you need. Tell me what he wants when he skips the beat. Tell us what you want. Cocaine. Oh man, that's just good, huh? Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Tell me what you need to get to the next level that you know you want to go. I'm doing a tutorial. Fuck it. Let's go. This is my last take and I give you this message. We're doing multiple takes so that we can comp the vocals up. Now I did multiple takes because I want to show you guys something that I do, but something also that made me feel a little fucked up, right? Because, you know, I, like many of you guys, I learned on YouTube. So when you get the opportunity to go to some established artist, you know, house, when you get to work with bigger artists, a lot of times they assume you know a lot. And it's always, again, guys, good to say, oh, what does that mean and stuff. Don't worry too much. A lot of times it's in your head. But for me, I was like, oh, motherfuckers. They would talk about, why don't you comp the vocals, comp this shit? I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Comp. So I don't want you guys to be that. I don't want you guys to feel that way. When you hear that, I want you guys to be ready because I care about your ass, bro. Okay, so at the bottom right here of this recording, since I did multiple takes, there's these 3 lines. Do not confuse them with cocaine because we just, you know, I get it. It's the cravings are kicking in. Don't do cocaine. This is, for me, it's just the meme, the branding of it. But if I click that, I have all of my recordings here. Okay, they're all here. And the point of this is, again, to flow. To let out all these inner demons, these thoughts, ideas you might have. It's like pretty much taking a shit in Ableton, bro. Like literally, and excuse my language if you're a kid. Don't tell mom. So I can grab the best parts of the best takes. For example, I like the one where I said, tell me. Let's go here. Tell me what you need. I like the tell me what you need. There was a faster one though. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Tell me what you need. I like this. So what I can do, I can exit that. Command copy up here like this. And now this is telling me that, oh, this is where we're from. We from, fool. I'm from Audio 3, bro. And then we're here. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Doing multiple. Okay. Now, I believe I like my part. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. I like the cocaine, so I'm going to use that. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. All right, sick. So we have this. This is the idea. Now, from here, right, if you didn't deliver the lines on beat, don't worry. It's an art. But what we can do is go into Ableton and use essentially these markers up here. We call these transient markers, okay, or syllable markers, whatever makes more sense to you. And the idea is that I can click on multiple of these markers and line them up. So I could say, oh, I want you on beat. I want you on beat. I want you on beat here. And I want you on beat like this. So this is going to alter the audio in a way where it tries to maintain everything as integral as possible. It's not going to sound choppy. It's going to form into what you stretch it to. Okay. From there, if you start to stretch extreme, or if you start to stretch like, you know, like you just do big changes, these algorithms that you see here start to play a bigger role. For example, in beats mode, we're going to have transient loop mode, and you're going to have either one off, which means that if I play this, and let's say I time stretch like this, right? Well, Ableton, the original file's like this, and it only lasts this long. You're telling Ableton you want to time stretch, and now you have all of this new info or new information that needs to be created. Time stretch. So that's where this matters. Tell off. Tell just plays the original. Tell so this is going to make it so that Ableton's deciding to loop the part that the information it has to create that new information you expect from it. In Beats mode, it does that. But in the other modes like Complex Pro, it's gonna stretch and use its algorithms, which again, I don't know what the hell it's doing, to be fair, but it's just time stretching it. It sounds like the vocal's getting stretched out like the Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal, daddy, bro. Tell us. So I'm gonna do it one more time. Tell us. Like so. So that's your formants, the Complex Pro, Complex, Repitch. And you have textures and tones, which are gonna be a lot more, I guess, nerdy, you know, granular, grain size, and then you can modulate the flux, the timing of this. Tell us what you want. You can tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Okay, cocaine. We got that there. Okay, pull this back. Cocaine. There we go. Boom. If you want to get it on the beat, cocaine, or you want to make cocaine, you know, a little bit different, you can. Just remember, it's always give and take. You can do it, but you always fuck something up. Cocaine. Hell yeah, having fun with that. Okay, we're gonna do what most YouTube tutorials tell you to do when processing vocals, which I agree with. Don't let those Pete Tong commercials say the YouTube wormhole and all this bullshit. Like, literally, it's that simple. When you see those videos and you go, that's it, you're like, yeah, it's that simple. Making music is that easy. It's just all about the ideas, the inception. How good are the initial ideas? Okay, there's no wormhole on YouTube. You learn a lot of good shit on YouTube. So, first off, EQ. If you're a guy, then usually 80 hertz. If you're a female, that's going to go higher. If you're a guy with a high screechy voice, another rule of thumb you can use is you don't want to cut the fundamentals. So you're going to know what it is because it's going to be the big mountain. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. This is a fundamental right here. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Okay. So I'm going to cut to there. Now, I'm going to add a high shelf, and this is always mandatory. The high shelf is going to boost the high, so we're going to use this quality here in order to make it look nicer. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Now, if you find the vocal has any issues here, tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. If, for instance, you think it sounds a little too honky, tell us what you want. You can reduce. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. If you start running into issues with the way the vocal sounds, maybe there's too much de-essing, too much of something, then that's when you can start to use de-essers or EQs. You can start to clean up here, certain parts of the vocal. Tell us what you want. I think vocal sounds fine. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Have you noticed there's a lot of noise in the back, right? So if that is the case with you, you have two options. One, remove and gate the vocal yourself like this. Tell us what you need. We go. Cleaning up the little gaps, right? Simple as that. Want. Tell us what you need. Now, if it feels a little unorthodox and you try to fix it and you still can't get it, don't worry too much, because with reverb and echo, it's going to help out. The reverb and echo are going to make it feel a lot more, as you could say, in a space, more natural sounding. Right now, we're just like picking at it. Now, if we look at the vocal, you're also going to notice these big valleys here. Like my voice is quiet here. It's loud here, right? It's like boom there, here. And then obviously the scream is crazy. Look at that. So this is why compression is important, okay? Because compression, what it's going to do is it's going to essentially lower down the distance between the quiet parts and the loud parts. And it's going to make your vocal a lot more compact sounding. Now, for this tutorial, I just want you guys to use a simple preset called Sustain Lead Vocal. It's inside of Ableton. We can use it. I think the settings are fine. Turn off the makeup gain. We're going to move it there, and we're going to compress the vocal like this from the top. Tell us what you want. This yellow line you're going to see here is going to be how much we're reducing by. So what we're actually doing is grabbing the top part of the vocal, this part, and we're bringing it down almost like a limiter, think of it, but not as extreme as a limiter. And we're essentially telling it, nope, you're going to come your ass back down to the loudness of this guy. If I do it enough, what you want, tell us what you need. Cocaine. You're going to see what's going to happen. I'm going to right click. I'm going to bounce to a new track. Okay, now if I make up the volume, you're going to notice that the vocal is a lot more leveled out, more evened out versus the top one. Okay, and that is the purpose of compression. And it's super important in tech house music and techno, because the thing is, if you have a banging beat made with EvoSounds stuff, I can lead you to the pond. If you decide to drink, it's up to you. Again, you know, if your vocal's like, tell us what you want, tell us what you, then that's going to have a hard time popping out. So that's why we compress the vocal, and that's why we do this. Okay, from here, I can also choose to saturate the vocal. And saturation is just going to do the same thing compression did. It's going to have that effect, but also it can bring in more frequencies that are associated with the frequencies you're presenting to it. And it might sound either one more rock, it might sound a little bit more in your face, it might sound like my vocal right now. So we can try it out. We can try it out. We can set it to something cool, like let's try the analog clip, to be fair, seems fair. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. I am looking at my volume for this. I don't want to let the volume, oh, it got louder, it's better, but you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you... Let's see how that wah looks, just to kind of show you guys what we're talking about here. We're going to bounce to a new track here. That allows me to see what's happening. Look at that wah. It's so much fuller, man. Like, it's not jumping like crazy in volume anymore. You can hear every little thing in that. And it still has some dynamics. You can see it's just not as drastic. And that is the goal with all of that. Okay, we're going to leave that. So I think a lot of you guys understand. So this is the basics of vocal. From here, a lot of you guys are going to be done. A lot of you guys are just going to be like, okay, I have my vocal. So what can you do to make the vocal more interesting, less like you if you feel it's too cringy, or if you just want to disassociate the vocal away from yourself, which is common. You know, a lot of my vocals that I do for packs, I'll find ways to make them not sound like me, even though you can still tell it's me. But I only do that because I can't stand to hear my own voice. Can you believe me doing this tutorial right now, man? I'm like, ah, fuck. But I'm going to lower the pitch. Tell us what you want. That's the first thing we can do. I'm going to lower it by 5. Tell us what you want. And there you go. We get that deeper voice. We can also complex pro now, and that activates the formants and the envelope here. Formants at the top tries to maintain the original integrity of the vocal. Tell us what you want. you know, kind of, I guess you could say it's going to sound thinner, less full, but it's going to try and keep my pronunciation. It's going to try and keep some of the tonality of it, while at the bottom,
Tell us what you want.
it's going to just let it take, you know, it's going to sound deep. It's just going to go with the flow. Check it out. I'm going to go more extreme with it.
Tell us what you want.
Okay, so definitely play with those two right here. It can give you some very interesting sound design results.
Tell us what you want.
For this one, I really like my vocal for this vibe. I think I should have delivered it a lot more punkier, but let's see how it goes.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
Okay. So pitching up, pitching down is one of the things you can do. From there, right, it's time to add the flavor to the vocal, I would say. So that's going to be the reverb, the delay. So if I like my vocal the way it is, I'm pretty much done. But we're going to do this first. That way some of you guys can leave that want to leave. So when it comes to reverb and delay on this, I recommend that you understand that reverb and delay are new sound sources you're creating that are going to live inside of your track. The way you want to think about it is like you're creating a new lead or a new pad that is created by your vocal. So it is going to take up space in the song, and you have to keep that in mind, because I see so many songs, sonics, ruined by too much reverb and too much delay on the vocal. And God forbid, the vocal racks you guys are always after. Like, come on, just a few minutes of your day and you can make your own vocal rack that fits your song, that fits what you're trying to do. So first things first, let's open up an audio effect rack. It's going to go at the end of the chain. The only reason it might go before everything, like let's say in between the saturator and compressor, is because you want to compress the effects with the vocal as well, which will bring the effects more to the front, which is not what I want. So we're going to create a new channel here called dry. I'm going to right click, create a new channel called reverb here. Command R reverb. Let's create another one for delay. So we just right click, create chain delay like so. Okay, let me increase this up a bit so you guys don't go blind trying to see what I'm doing there. And let's do another one for chorus. Okay, and yeah, we'll stop there because I'm already falling into the trap of adding stuff because I'm like, I don't know what I want with it yet. So with reverbs on vocals, three main ones I would say. You got plates, you got halls, chamber, and there might be one more. But what I would suggest, keep it simple at first, and then as life gets boring, you introduce other ones. For this one, let's use a hall, which is going to be the more common, I would say, for vocals, or a plate. There is a vocal hall here. We can use the preset. Don't be shy to use it. If it works, it works. We drag it and drop it in this channel that says reverb. And in these channels, you're going to run your effects at 100% because these are dedicated channels for it. The volume, think of it as the volume for the reverb or a dry and wet in sense, where you have your dry signal always there.
Tell us what.
But this is what we're adding.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want.
Okay.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
So we're adding this reverb. And I'm going to lower down the decay.
Cocaine. Tell us what you.
Now, I might hold off on it because it doesn't sound as good as I thought for this song. I do want an 80s vibe. And in the 80s, they had this thing called slap delay. So I'm going to see if there's a sick preset we can use from here, from Ableton, that can give us that. Let's try this. There it is.
Tell us what you want.
I like
Tell
that.
us what you need.
It's a slap back delay.
Cocaine.
There we go. Let's see how it sounds.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
That's not bad. Let's see if there's other ones here that we can use. The Ableton presets are clutch, by the way. Oh, what is this? Let's try it.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
So I'm going to add this. I'm going to add the delay. But I like the other one more.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
That's great. Look.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
No, decrease it a bit.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Okay, now if I want to add chorus and all these other things, that's fair, but why do we add it, right? So let's say that my vocal's there and it's sounding a little thin, or I need more depth to it, then I can create new layers of the vocal that I can pan left and right with these effects. Or I can just do more takes with the vocal, or use an auto shift, as I'm going to show you, because we do have to pitch the vocals in a sec. So the chorus, it's an effect that duplicates the vocal or the sound source multiple times, usually 2 to 3 or up to 8, depending on the chorus you're using. You'll know because they'll tell you voice, or you'll see the lines in the image.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
We can add a flanger.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us.
So here I'm going to have this layer, these 2 layers,
Tell us what you want.
and it creates
Tell us
this.
what you need.
Again, the point of the chorus and flanges is, yes, you can have the chorus down the center and it will make the vocals wide, but it's just to create
Tell us what you want.
tonal changes in the vocal so that when you pan left and right, it doesn't collapse into mono. Because if you have the same vocal pan left and right and you don't do nothing to it, it will sound like it's still down the center. Case in point here, I'm going to do it right now, and you're going to see that it's not even going to sound remotely wide when I do it. If I have these right, left, down the center.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
The moment I add a chorus and I add a flanger, I change the tone.
Tell us what you
Now we get
want.
it.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
And you can already see that it sounds glorious, right? So delay here, I'm using more of a slap, right? And that's because of the song, the vibe of the song. You don't copy my settings, okay? Because this settings work because this song has the 80s vibe, right? Like the whole like.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Now it has that whole vibe.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Now, I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. Auto shift, if I put it, which is Ableton's auto tune, I can use it first off here, keep it in scale, F minor. We are actually in A minor, so we're going to do that.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
And I can create layers to it, like pitch deformance down 12.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what
I'm going to add this layer.
Tell us what you want. Tell us
what you need. Cocaine.
You can already see this creates this bottom layer
Tell
to
us
it.
what you want. Tell us what you need.
You can also
Cocaine.
do it higher up, harmonics at 7.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Can do another one if we wanted
Tell
to.
us what you want.
Left, right,
Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
-5.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
There we go. We have like a big ass stack on the vocal. Is it needed? Again, who knows? I'm just showing that there to you guys. But if I feel it fits the vibe, then it fits the vibe.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
Maybe quieter.
Cocaine.
It can be there.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Put it down the center.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
Tell us what you want.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want.
I want it to last longer, so that's why I'm clicking there and pulling. Okay, give you guys some examples there. All right, cool. So we have all of that. Now I'm going to add an auto shift at the beginning for the vocal. Now I chose not to do it because mainly I thought we weren't going to need it for the vocal. I thought I was going to make more of an atonal vocal, but the fact that that auto shift made it sound kind of glorious, I was like, we can do that. So we're going to click here to sync this up with the key that we've added on the top here in Ableton. And now we should play with our input, whether it's mid, high, or bass.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Just playing with it.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
I'm going to try putting it down by
Tell
5.
us what you need. Cocaine.
Maybe a little form and shift.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Sometimes even a 1 semitone shift is enough.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
I like that. Okay. Now I want to end the video with one final thing, which is another story of being in the studio with big producer. Oh man, I swear guys, this ain't gonna happen to you guys. I look out for you guys, my brothers. All right, so finally, when it comes to delaying vocals, here's my biggest tip. You know, a lot of you guys will run the echoes in this fucking channel, and I think, no, don't do that because you're gonna get fucking roasted to hell. So what we want to do is create a new channel, call it echoes. All right, we can highlight this guy, right click, bounce to new track like so. This gives you the process vocal. You're gonna run it into that channel, and in that channel you're gonna put echo, and you're gonna run it at 100%. This is gonna give you the cleanest echo that most people want but don't know how to get, and you're gonna notice what I mean right now in a sec. This is gonna stay on, and it's gonna sound like this. Check it. We're gonna put this at notes 1/4. Okay, now I can EQ that a little bit. Some reverb. My wah sounds a little fruitier. I don't know what happened there, but oh well. It's probably this. Sick, right? So the point of this here is you run it at 100, so that way you get the echo perfect, and then you can process the echo in any way or form. For example, my signature sound, if you ever hear it in music, you know it's me. Redux with echo. Add a little redux. There we go. Okay. From there, processing the vocal further, you can do it. You can auto shift. You can use different plugins. You can add different stuff like a set of chords or flangers. Delay can turn into echoes. Reverbs can turn into anything else like Bahala. Your dry will stay dry. But again, at the end of the day, this is the basics of it. Sound design. And I just had a brain fart. I want to show you guys one more thing. So if you have a vocal and it's meant more to be like, you know, something like that's not going to be singing, don't be scared to play around with stuff like shifter and other effects inside of Ableton. Like, for example,
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
you can do really cool stuff with it.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
And do really cool stuff. You can route an LFO to
Tell
that.
us what you want.
Slow it down.
Tell us what you need.
So now you have this effect. We can change
Tell us
frequency.
what you want.
Tell us what you need. Cocaine. Tell us what you want.
Like so. Again, the last one I'll show you, spectral resonator, which is super cool. Probably burnt out by now, but you can still use it. Turn it into notes. You can also turn here the key
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
to do these cool like effects.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
Like pleasure crafty vibes.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need.
Add unison.
Cocaine.
Adds more duplicates of the sound, left, right, and then detuned.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
There you go. Watch it.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Cocaine.
All right, fam. So hopefully this gives you a bit of confidence to make your own vocals and use them in your own music. It's very rewarding, and like I said, you know, if you want to connect with your audience, if you want to have something signature about yourself, having your own vocals, the way you say stuff, the way you say Ableton, right, can be a signature part of your sound. With that being said, if you guys want to continue your knowledge forward, consider watching this video here. And it's been a pleasure to have you guys here, my bros. Let's get it, man. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. Take care and peace out.